Hi, Jack Canfield here, and welcome back to Hollywood Live. I'm here with Tanisha Souza, who's the co-founder of TARDIS Wealth Strategies. She is a professional speaker. She is a coach, a wealth coach. She's an entrepreneur, and she's a wonderful woman and a former attorney.
Recovering
A
attorney.
recovering attorney. I love it. That's great. Well, welcome.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. So before I jump into some of the other questions I want to ask, I just want to give you a moment to talk about your life, who you are, and what you do.
I used to be an attorney, a former attorney, and I left the practice of law because it was pretty stressful, and I decided that I wanted to help people make money as opposed to suing people, put it that way. And so there was a pretty big transition in my life around that time when I made the decision to help people with their finances. And that's not my background. That's not, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a financial planner. But basically, what my husband did was we went from 0 to 5 million in 3 years and became financially free, and I didn't have to work anymore. And I was able to quit the practice of law. And so now what I do is I teach people to do exactly what we did.
And you went to financial freedom in how did you do that?
We did that through real estate investments. And so we were able to create enough passive income through those investments that it was more than what I was making at the law firm. And no more 70-hour work weeks, no more, being away from my husband in different areas. So it was a big transition and a wonderful one. So.
And I know you call yourself a wealth and a passive income coach. So you
Yes.
help people create passive incomes. Now here you are, you're working as a lawyer. You mentioned the transition, but what was that? Was there a defining moment, a defining event, something that said, okay, I'm going to make this shift?
I think what it was is my husband and I were recently married, so we're newlyweds, and I was not able to spend any time with him. We started talking about a family, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do that. We weren't going to have time to have kids. I wouldn't have time to spend with them. And in fact, I had a lot of other colleagues that unfortunately were not able to have kids, or they waited too long to do that. And so we made a shift. I said, I'm not going to keep driving my beat up Volkswagen Fox anymore. And I'm going to stop eating, peanut butter and jelly. I mean, we were living not like lawyers at all. And so we needed to make that shift. And so I paid off my student loans. I had $100,000 in student loan debt. And that was the big difference. Paid that off and then created enough income that I didn't have to work. So that's what I teach people how to do now. Not just through real estate investing, but also through a strategy that I was able to get a patent on as well.
So in this wealth coaching industry that you're in,
Yeah.
how would you describe the state of that industry right now?
Well, I think it's a little bit in flux because people are so confused by the financial industry in general. And I think that it may be that way intentionally because the more confused people are, the more they feel like they need to rely on someone else to do their investing for them. They don't feel like they need the education. And that's where we come in, because we feel like we want people to be educated. We want to coach them through, help them understand what are the obstacles that are holding them back, and then help them navigate paying off debt if that's the issue. Maybe it's overspending, maybe it's not making enough money, or a combination of those things. And then we have a combination of technology that I created, as well as some pretty practical strategies that help them to figure out exactly what they need to do to create enough income so that they don't have to work, and also pay off mortgages and other debts.
So your career has been very successful. You've been a great success. I mean, pretty incredible to watch. What would you attribute to that success? What puts you ahead of the competition?
I think everyone on my team has a passion, like I do, to help people get out of the rat race. And so, it's all about helping them retire early, rich, and mortgage-free in about 5 years. And I think
early, rich, and mortgage-free. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what we do, and everyone has a passion for that. So our objective is different than I think a lot of others, and that is to make sure people are very clear on the steps that they need to take in order to achieve that. And they don't need any assets to do that. If my husband and I were able to do it in a few years, then anybody can do it. I had no financial background at all. I had no background in, I was a litigator. That has nothing to do with finance at all. And if I can do it, like I said, anyone can do it.
So let's go back to when you started.
Yes.
And you said, okay, I don't have this background.
Yeah.
What did you do? How did you get up and running?
Well, we started with purchasing foreclosures. That was the first thing that we did. And we started with basically nothing, almost nothing. And we started to flip homes, and then we went into investment properties that generated monthly income. And that was the thing that helped us. So the first flip that we did, we paid off my $100,000 in student loans. And then after that, we started to buy strip malls and office buildings and things like that generated income.
So were you reading books? Did you have mentors? How did you learn to do what you did?
Yes, I read books, including a book that you wrote.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I did. I read lots of great books, and they helped me along the way. My mother sent me a bunch of books on foreclosures. Didn't make me an expert by any means. I wish I would have had a coach one-on-one that could have helped me. But my mistakes and my experience are going to help thousands of people, and I have helped thousands of people. We've helped thousands over the years. And so I want to keep on that vein, not just in real estate. With the patented strategy, I call it the income snowball. People are able to do what we did in real estate without having any assets, without getting into debt, and they're able to achieve it in a really short period of time, in just a few years.
I love that, the income snowball. I used to live in Massachusetts. We used to make these big snowmen, just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and roll it over. That's great.
That's the idea.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, my mentor was a man named W. Clement Stone. He was worth $600 million, and he said, OPE is the secret to success, other people's experiences. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So here you are with all this experience you can share with people. That's great. So one other question about that. Sitting here now with everything you know, if you were to look back to yourself when you first started your business, you're the younger version of you, and you were wanting to be a successful entrepreneur, knowing what you know now, what advice would you have given yourself back then from this perspective that you have now?
Good question. I think I would have gone faster. One of the challenges I had in the beginning was because I didn't have the financial experience, I was listening to other people in the financial industry who told me it couldn't be done. What I had thought about, this income snowball idea, that really hadn't been invented yet, I had talked to several people that said, nope, you can't do it, it's impossible, it's not gonna work, and so I believed them. And it pushed me back several years, and if I had listened to myself and had that confidence to get out there and just try it and do it, I would have been where I am now years ahead of time.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Now you're a co-author in this new book, The Soul of Success.
Yes.
Talk about what you wrote in that book.
Well, in the book I wrote a little bit about my story. So I told kind of my rags to riches story. And then I also give people strategies for creating passive income, helping them to understand why everyone needs it. No one should rely on one source of income or even just a couple of sources, and especially if it's their job. So my big giveaway to them is to explain to them, help them understand what they need to do to start creating that passive income for themselves, and creating multiple streams is really the best, ideal way to go. So,
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
So if people want to get in touch with you because they want to develop more wealth, they want to develop passive income, they want to know what you have to teach, they would like you to coach them in success and wealth strategies, where do they go? How can they reach you?
They can just go directly to our website, or they can call our office directly. Those are the best two ways to get a hold of us.
Well, if you want to be wealthy and have passive income so you can have more time off, and even while you're sleeping, you're making money, you want to get this book, you want to work with her, just go to her website, read the book, and you'll be on your way. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after this message.